Welcome to the Phlarp Podcast. Phlarp stands for Park Hills Live Action Role Players. We are a medieval fantasy-themed LARP group. We engage in unscripted combat against each other using padded LARP weapons and a shared combat system. We also participate in ad-lib dialogue with each other in an attempt to portray a character, and many of us also wear costumes. We operate out of Park Hills, Missouri, every Sunday from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. We strive to create an environment that facilitates our players' immersion as much as possible so that regardless of their previous experience with LARP, they could participate and have a fun and memorable LARP experience. We want to help people create friendships, relationships, and memories that will last a lifetime. It is our hope here at the Phlarp Podcast that through the utilization of this platform, we can expand on the ideas and suggestions taken from our players so that we can maximize player retention and expand our player base. The Phlarp Podcast is made possible by support from our players and listeners like you. If you would like to support us, please visit our Patreon, where you can do so for as little as $3 a month. Also, any engagement on our YouTube or Facebook pages is much appreciated, and thank you for listening. What's up, Phlarpers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Oh.
Good morning, Phlarpers!
I like that energy.
Yeah, not bad. Not
How you
bad.
like
Bringing
that?
Bringing it.
I like it.
Dude, you spiked the... Look at that.
Sorry about your eardrums. My bad. Gotta get
Okay.
some energy in this place, man.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, welcome to the Phlarp Podcast. I'm Jason Smith, or North.
And I'm Brandon Fraser or Davine Allman.
And I'm Chris, or Eric the Red. I'm a fucking god.
Oh, wow.
And we don't have a co-host today, so it's just us.
Yep.
Hopefully we can conjure up enough banter between us to, not be boring.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
What do you got on the agenda today?
I got a lot of stuff on the agenda.
Yeah?
I mean, there's some stuff.
There's some stuff. Oh, by the way, I assume that everybody realizes that this will be released, like the day before Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
So,
So this is the...
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So do we
Happy
do the
Thanksgiving.
recap on this one? Happy Thanksgiving.
I mean, yeah. It's still, we have a recap from last week, but I imagine we add some Thanksgiving stuff.
So this one, I'm confused. This
Okay.
one's going to be released,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
but it'll be the one before Thanksgiving. So
Right.
this is the Thanksgiving episode.
Yes.
Right.
So this is the Thanksgiving episode, sir.
Turkeys.
Yeah, so maybe you should be thankful for some
I am
things.
thankful. Would you like me to
Oh.
elaborate?
Can you?
Yeah,
I would prefer you to. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for a lot of things. There's actually very few things that I'm not thankful for. Or I
Okay.
don't
Do you want to talk
appreciate,
about those
know.
things, or do we just want to think about the things that we are thankful for?
How do you feel about that?
About the things I'm unthankful for?
I'm not paying him either.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, North. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for Phlarp, basically.
I mean, truth. Let me just say, November 20th, right? It's November 20th.
Today is November
That's-
20th.
That's when we're creating this podcast. Like 20 players today, and it was, again, cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
awesome. I'm enjoying the numbers. I'm
Mhm.
thankful for the numbers that we have had at Phlarp.
Yeah, and the for those that might be a little bit concerned about coming out during the cold, we have a patio heater now, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
one thing I brought was a patio heater.
There was heaters all over the place, if we're being honest,
Yep.
and they worked pretty well.
Yeah,
No
I
way.
had my little bitty one, which, a couple people used. The other one, we just didn't, we were in a smaller area, so we didn't have enough plugins for
Yeah.
the one. But I mean, still, it was a great day.
Mhm.
Now I do want to talk about that also. Are we expecting to be in that area for the next month, basically? Are they keeping that closed through Christmas? Do we know?
It seems like before that they didn't keep it closed that whole time, but I don't know
No.
how they wouldn't have unless they're just closing it to set it up.
I'm not sure.
Because the park is closed, just so everybody.
Yeah,
is
so I mean, we
clear.
still played there, just we have to play at the front as opposed to the pavilion we normally play at in the back,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
which
we
is a
have-
little smaller.
Mhm. And we have a pretty good relationship with the local people, so I don't think they'd run us off or anything, but yeah, we might have to play at that first one, I guess, for a little while, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, it is a little bit smaller, but we get better visibility there too.
True.
The people driving by and stuff. There was at one point somebody was hollering or honking or something, I think. which I don't think anybody rezzed off of it, but maybe they
No,
forgot.
I almost forgot.
Forgot that happens. Yeah. Rand tried to. We had one player drive by.
Yeah,
And
but
try to
his
honk.
horn wouldn't work.
Yeah, and he just took a video of his horn not working to let us
It's
know.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah. And I did notice in the middle of Last Man Standing, there were people from that apartment complex right next to us. They were out there watching us. They were very intrigued. I think they were kind of hesitant because they were like, "What are these guys doing?" But I mean, they stood and watched. So I mean, we're getting a little more visibility. So I think that's really awesome.
I probably should have. I saw them too, and I thought about going over there and giving them a card.
Yeah.
And then I like kind of, forgot about it basically. But I probably should have went over there and got them a card too whenever we see people looking like that, if they're not too
Sure.
standoffish, I guess.
Right.
Or whatever.
I'm gonna have to get some of those cards so that while we're out there, and we see that at least somebody can walk up and be like, "Hey, if you guys are interested, we're here every Sunday."
Speaking of foot
Sometimes
traffic,
that's the only difference between getting somebody to play and not.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we've gotten players that way, just walking by and like they want to talk to us, but they're like scared to or whatever, and you just gotta go over there and grab them.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it should be pointed out. We had like quite a bit of views on our podcast this past week, which I was pretty excited to see.
Yeah, that's way more people. I don't know where these people are coming from, but
I don't either.
we appreciate it, I
Yeah.
guess.
I know that I sent it out to Angie that we did a shout out to her last episode.
Yeah.
I told her how to find it, and she was like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." So I'm like, "All right,
I
I
was
got
going
you."
to ask you if you told her that we went ahead and gave her a shout
Yeah.
out or whatever you did.
So when I checked the views earlier, I showed you guys it was at 179 views.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "This is awesome.
Yeah.
We're getting it out there. We're getting the word out, no matter how." And I don't care if people are watching it over and over and over.
Sure.
Just those views alone, YouTube will see that, hey, they're getting more views and views and views, and so it'll spike it up. And,
Sure.
And they'll be like, hey, check out this feed, check out this, so I really like that. Yeah, it
gets like traction.
yeah.
Cool.
So I appreciate everybody that viewed, that are viewing our podcast and are coming out to Phlarp. I'm thankful for you guys.
Yep. Yeah. Numbers have been good.
And at the end of this one, we'll go over some things that maybe we might be able to offer people that are watching that are already LARPers and that could potentially get them to see some unreleased content. We're thinking about releasing some other content strictly on our Patreon for the spectators. So, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So,
I mean, and some of that stuff like includes like the history of Phlarp and stuff, which some people might find interesting or important. This place, technically, we've been going since like 2012. It's been kind of a roller coaster of a ride, but I think some people would enjoy hearing the story.
yeah, I think you could make a whole podcast on
Oh, easily.
Oh, yeah.
gunslingers, just on gunslingers
Don't
alone.
even get me
The
started.
release and the success or whatever fails, I guess.
I'm getting
of
triggered just thinking
gunslingers.
about it.
And see, that's something that's like if they're just listening to us talk about stuff that we don't have a strong opinion about, it may
Yeah.
not be as entertaining as what
Fair.
is what I was thinking. As
That
watching
gunslinger
something.
thing might have been the worst thing I've ever been a part of at Phlarp. It was rough. It was a complete fail.
Yeah.
Fail. I mean, we'll save that for later.
Hey, I
but-
made that class.
Well, it sucked.
Dude, it was
It was terrible. It was awful.
it was all right.
No, it wasn't. It was
Okay.
terrible. We were bringing Nerf guns into a. It just wasn't it for me. It doesn't make sense.
You talking you my George W. Bush?
The whole thing was terrible. I don't. We should get off this topic
Okay.
So
We'll save that for the
for the
Do you guys-
Patreon.
the exclusive content.
Yeah.
do you guys have any like specific rituals or specific things that you do for Thanksgiving?
We always go over to my in-laws' house and eat food, and they make really good food, so that's a good thing because sometimes.
I mean, is it really good food though? Because that seems like an objective thing to say.
Yeah,
like-
I mean,
In my opinion, it is good.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
I mean,
I do have a question though. Also, I don't have any rituals for Thanksgiving, none. But I do have like foods that better be at the table when I get there. And if they're not there, I mean, it's not a good Thanksgiving dinner. And I really have two things over all else. right?
That
You better have
you wanna
homemade
eat.
mashed potatoes and gravy, and it's got to be brown gravy. Has to be. And then also, I don't want no damn pumpkin pie. That stuff's gross.
Really?
But I better have a pecan pie there. I love pecan pie, and I
Amen,
will eat
brother.
a whole thing by myself.
Amen.
No problem. Love pecan pie.
Out freaking standing.
Yeah.
Freaking. You like that? I mean, pecan pie. I'm like
pecan
you.
pie is really good. I agree.
I'm not a big pumpkin fan. I'm not.
Yeah.
Even like the pumpkin spice.
Oh, I don't like it either. None of it. Yeah.
Keep that. Keep it. I'll take my peppermint. But pecan pie.
Oh yeah, it's like pure sugar. It's
Oh.
so good. So good. Yeah. I got a fun little memory. I had a cousin. We used to like go over there or whatever for Thanksgiving dinner always, and he was also obsessed with pecan pie. It was just like a little joke between the two of us, and one day we decided, basically while everyone else was like enjoying each other's company or whatever, like before dinner, we were going to take the pecan pie, go upstairs and eat the entire thing.
Oh.
So we did. We split a pecan pie, and then of course like we got to dinner and neither one of us were really hungry, and like we're like trying to put some food down, but like it was miserable. And then of course like dessert time came, and everyone's like, oh well, we made this homemade pecan pie, and they like go to bring it out, and they're like, where's the pecan pie? And then we're just like, yeah, we ate that.
We smashed the hell out of that.
So that's like a fun little memory I have about it. I mean, that was a long time ago, but
Did they hoard the pecan pie afterward? Like, did they remember it next year? Were they like,
there was always a pecan. I mean, there was always like, hey, Brandon, don't get into the pecan pie before dinner. But like, yeah, there was no bogarting or anything of the pecan pie.
Okay.
They just basically slapped my hand, told me never to do it again. So, to be fair, I paid for it. You know, it was kind of a miserable experience that Thanksgiving dinner.
trying to eat still?
Oh yeah, I'm still like trying to shove my face with like mashed potatoes and turkey afterwards, but I was stuffed, like the turkey. You know, I was just
Oh,
absolutely
man.
stuffed.
Yes.
That's the only like the real memory that I have of any of my Thanksgivings, though. So.
I always loved watching. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate
fair.
them,
It's fair.
but I always loved watching them on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
And it was like, you know, you get the turkey belly going on, and you're trying to watch that game.
You're
and
gonna
just
fall
like,
asleep.
I'm done, checked out. I'm just like passed out on the couch. I mean,
fair.
I loved it, but
I do enjoy football on Thanksgiving Day, though.
oh yes, oh yeah. So, what about you? Any specific memory?
No, I guess Thanksgiving hasn't been a really strong one or something in my life because I don't even have really any memory. Like, you know, you have the memory associated. I don't really have even. I was trying to think. I don't have
Nothing?
any strong memories.
You got any like strong opinions about any Thanksgiving Day food that like better be there, or like you don't want it? Because like I hate cranberry sauce. I think it's disgusting. You could not make cranberry sauce and I'd be fine. I don't put that stuff on my plate.
Yeah, you can miss me with the cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like always canned, and then there's like always the people who are like, "Oh, the canned stuff's better." Like, well, then eat it. It's over there. It's gross.
Take the whole
Yeah,
damn
I don't
thing.
want it to touch my turkey or my stuffing or my mashed potatoes.
and it would be weird, like you said, to not have mashed potatoes and gravy. Like, I feel like that's got to be a staple.
Got to be there.
of-
Yeah.
Stuffing too. Stuffing obviously, because stuffing.
Are you
Yeah.
a fan of like the dry stuffing or the wetter?
You talking about like the like
Some people, they make it and it's like when they scoop it forms with the spoon.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm
And it's
honestly
like-
okay with either. Like I prefer it not too wet. Like I don't want it too wet, but
But the stovetop stuffing
stovetop's
stuff
fine.
can be. Oh, okay.
I'll
That'd
eat
be fine.
stovetop.
Okay.
I ain't picky about it. It's bread. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's
you know.
true.
I mean, I prefer a homemade. Who doesn't prefer a homemade stuffing? I'm just saying I'm okay with stovetop. You know.
Right. I agree. I'm trying to think of like.
Oh, the
Sometimes
other
my-
thing I've never had. I would love to have this at some point. People make the fried turkeys. I've never had a piece of fried turkey. I'd love to have that at some point. We just always do the put it in the oven and
Put it
bake
in the
it.
oven, yeah. I always put believe it or not, I bake mine upside down.
Yeah. Any specific reason? So it like stays in the juices?
It stays in the juice. Believe it or not, a really good friend that passed away that I served with, he was the one that got me on that. And so he told me, he's like, dude, bake it upside down. So we tried it. And it was the juiciest turkey. Like, you bake it upside down, but then you turn it over in time to brown the top.
Yeah.
And, oh, my God, it was so juicy. I was like...
I know some people, they like get that like inject butter stuff.
Yeah.
And they inject it. I don't even know if we've ever done that. I'm not usually in charge of cooking the turkey, so just in charge of eating it.
Now, I can make a sweet potato,
Yeah.
but if you're diabetic, you best not eat it.
Let's take my insulin beforehand.
Oh,
you
man,
know?
like so
And after.
much sugar.
Oh, I believe it.
Like brown sugar and, of course, marshmallow and
Sure,
all
yeah.
that. Oh, my gosh, dude. Like, we're talking diabetic coma.
Fair enough.
I can eat sweet potatoes, but I'm not a real big fan of them. I think they're bland.
That's why they have to be covered in brown sugar.
Oh, that makes sense.
And
I
butter.
mean, I think the pumpkin, like you were saying earlier, pumpkin pie really sometimes is pretty bland.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Candy.
pumpkin. Well, that's why you got to cover it in Cool Whip. So you got to learn, like some of these dishes
Yes.
that have to be like covered in other stuff,
Yeah.
probably just not that good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you have to cover
have to
your
hide it
pumpkin
under
pie
something
in
else.
Cool Whip in order for you to eat it, then it's probably just not that great.
I like a hint of pumpkin pie with my Cool Whip.
Yeah, that's basically
Just
how
a
I would.
dash.
Yeah, I'll just eat the bowl of Cool Whip. I'm good. That's funny.
My roommate, she will eat the pumpkin filling.
Stop. Oh my! Like out of a can?
No. Like,
Oh.
she'll get the pumpkin pie,
Yeah.
and she just eats the filling and leaves the crust.
I don't have a problem
Like,
with that.
out of the
I would
out
do
of the
that to a
pan, I was
pecan
like,
pie. I would totally
ugh.
eat the inside of a pecan pie and leave all the crust.
My Rachel, she eats the filling and gives me the pecans on top. She gives me like the candied pecans.
So she just eats like the sugar.
yeah. The-
no,
Yeah.
no. You know,
She's
we
like, "Here,
gave
you want my
Rachel a
pecans?"
shout out last week, and now she's lost it. I'm sorry, she
her
lost
shout-out.
it.
Well.
Sorry, Rachel. I know you're upstairs, but not happening.
Speaking of shout outs, didn't you have a shout out for Arno from
I did.
last week that we forgot?
Yeah, last week we forgot. Davine and I were talking about it, and he did like this. He looked like a F-16 or F-18 or
He
whatever
did
it is.
the classic Naruto
Yeah.
run for those that, I mean, people will know. It's
That's-
that you put your arms back and you do the run thing, and he actually got a kill off of it, which was pretty crazy.
He got a slaughter
Yeah.
because he killed 4 people who were just kind of standing around, and he was just like, and he took off, and like 4 of them right in a
He
row.
killed
Was
a
like,
bunch of people. It was pretty
oh,
cool.
that was awesome.
And he was really cool about when one person swung around and swung at him. I'm not even sure if they hit him as lethal, but he just kind of dove down right afterward. He
Yeah.
killed like 4 or 5 people, and then somebody swung on him, and he kind of and died. You know?
Yeah.
It was a cool role play to
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, Arno, we missed you last week, but we got you this week, bro. Don't worry.
Well, actually, we missed him this week, too, because he didn't come out.
Yeah, he
What's
did-
going on, Arno? Come on, man.
Where? And Sir Ednick,
Yeah. Yeah.
he sent me a friend request on Facebook.
Mm.
Well, he sent Chris a friend request. Chris told me about it, and
Chris told you about it. Yeah.
he told me about it, and then he doesn't show up this week. Like,
Crazy.
What kind of crap is that?
Well, I know a lot of these people work on Sundays, too. Like Sir Ednick works.
Bunch
Yeah.
of
Like
losers.
5 or 6 o'clock. Yeah, how lame. No, but I mean, I get it. If you can't be there because of work, that's a whole different situation.
Mhm.
If you're doing it because you're cold,
Yeah, that's lame because we have heaters.
you're just salty. I can't finish it, but salty.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of heaters.
And hot cocoa.
Yes,
And hot cocoa. Yeah, that thankfully Chris
Yeah.
bought everybody some
No.
hot cocoa this week.
Eric,
Oh, excuse me, Eric the Red bought everybody some.
get my name
hot-
right, sir.
What if I don't want to?
Oh, do you want to be Dobie?
Do you want to be Eric the
Do you-
Blue? Eric the Green?
No.
All right, well,
I am Eric the Red.
Let's just let all that go then.
I'm a freaking god.
You did there, jeez. It's like a bait and switch.
Yeah. Weren't ready for that, were you?
Oh, green light me, bro.
All right, well, what do we want to get
I-
into first? We want to do a recap of the
Yeah,
day?
let's do a quick recap. We already said that, there's like 20 people there.
There's costume contest,
Mhm.
which went pretty well. Today, Lucian won the contest, followed by
Squishy.
Squishy came in second, and in third
with
place.
her alternative costume, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't even her main costume.
No.
It was pretty cool. She has a lot of cool costumes. I
It's
like
cool
her
that
costume making. It's
she
cool.
came in the other one and then changed back into her regular one
Yeah.
that had already won a contest before.
Sure.
So that she was, because I guess she was trying to.
She likes the costume contest thing. I feel
Mhm.
like that really fits to her. I mean, Lucian does too. Lucian shows
Yeah.
up in some cool costumes. That
He's bringing it up,
dude, I know
He's
that shoulder armor thing
making
that
it
he had
happen.
today was sick looking. I was actually kind of jealous.
He said that he brought it back out because of the video from last week. He said, I kind of missed that. So that's why he brought that back out.
They look sweet. I
Like,
mean, obviously
he-
won the costume
yeah.
contest with it, so good for him. And then I don't want this to go overlooked. Who came in third place today? Do we know?
I can't remember because I wasn't.
Was it Gregor? I believe it was.
Okay,
Gregor
yeah.
came in third place today in the costume contest. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a really cool costume too. His is kind of like Rand's in that.
maybe it wasn't Gregor. I really need to go back and look.
Oh well,
Now I feel
his
bad.
is still cool.
I mean,
Yeah, it was still a cool.
if you
costume.
came in third, leave us a comment.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We don't
Let
want
us
to overlook
know.
this, but we can't remember if we did. So.
Yeah,
We're old. Okay.
truth. So that was the first thing we did. What else we do?
We did some last man standing.
True. Trying to think.
I don't know why we don't write this down.
Probably
w-
should.
It was like Cody or Heston and some people up there because it was when those people were watching us.
Yeah.
Yep. Heston
So-
came in third.
Was it Cranston or one of them that?
Raven came
Not-
in
yeah.
second. And was it Pius? Came in first place on that one.
Maybe I can't remember on that one.
I don't know. We played Last Man Standing. That was fun.
Yeah,
That
it
was
neat.
it was really good.
Maybe we should just stop talking about the winners if we can't remember.
I feel that we need to start writing this down.
Maybe.
We-
Maybe
we-
we need to write it down. And also, the recap isn't always just to focus on necessarily who the winner is. So, like, if
Just
we,
telling
if we
you
know,
what games we played.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
But, like, for the next one, for Chain of Fools,
Yep, we played Chain of Fools.
I think that went pretty well
I
compared
agree.
to, like, we've now played that 2 or 3 times and not made
I was
any
even kind of
changes to it.
surprised a little bit at the people who placed in that game.
Yeah.
Because, you see, on that game, I can't tell you for sure. You had Pius finish first place, and then Ufuten came in second place, and then in third place was Raven.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. And Raven was kind of like, I guess not so sure because he kept thinking that every time Heston
Yep.
Hit him with his
hit him with his staff, that
Mhm.
it was a lethal blow.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept forgetting that it's just a stun.
Yeah.
I think sometimes on purpose he was just being like, well, if you're going to stun lock me, I'll just be dead
Yeah.
too. Because
Yeah.
they can't, he does get you stun locked and then kills you. But if it was lethal, you would just be dead anyway. So it's not like he has an advantage. It can just be a little annoying to get stun locked.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He doesn't even try to get, though, out of the stun lock. Though I think sometimes when he got hit, he was just like, whatever, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. I will say this, too, because I feel like it should be said. That game, at that end moment, whenever they actually Simoed, but the kill went to Raven because his weapon does lethal damage, and the wizard he was fighting, it only takes
That's true.
stun damage.
Mhm.
So we gave the win to the warrior, to Raven. And then afterwards, Heston had, I don't want to say complaints, that's not the right word, but he had some concerns, we'll call it, about like what his weapons particularly did in that particular match.
Mhm.
And I feel like that was a moment of weakness for me because typically I deal with those things pretty well, but I just did not want to argue with anybody in that moment. Like I was like, this is what we said happened and that's what happened. Like, so how as like a magistrate or a marshal or whatever, do I do better about controlling myself in those moments where I feel like, I don't want to deal with this? Like, do I just hand it off to you guys? Because that doesn't seem fair either. But I'm sure you guys have had moments like that where you're like, I don't know what to do with this situation. Perhaps somebody else should deal with it who's less opinionated or something about that particular thing.
Here's the thing, though. You know,
I wasn't mad at him or anything.
Yeah,
Let's be clear
no.
about that.
Yeah.
It just was like, I don't want to waste the energy of us just going back and forth saying the same things, you know?
Here's the thing, okay? You're moderating, so you're reffing the game
Yeah, for them to play.
for them to play.
Yes, I agree.
So when you make a call, and I think that, this should be set across the board. If a ref has to make a call, or a moderator, magistrate, whatever, then just respect that call,
Yeah.
and it's done.
Yeah, and to be fair, I will tell you this too. There were some moments today where I made calls and people did not argue with me, and I really appreciated those
Yes.
moments. Specifically, one happened with Gregor. I was like, "Hey, man, like that's not what I saw or whatever," and he didn't argue at all. He just was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I appreciate that as a moderator because I don't want to get involved.
No.
What's his name? The other guy did that I have trouble pronouncing. JD's.
Aja?
Aja.
Yeah, Aja. He did that too. At one point, you said that was an arm. He said, "Oh, okay," and he
Yeah.
just dropped his shield.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is I don't want to get involved at all. But if you make me get involved, especially if I haven't seen what actually happened, and you're asking me to whatever, I'm basically going to go in and just take limbs from both of you, or you're both going to be dead, or whatever. There was a situation
Instead of
today.
picking a
Do you
side.
remember there was like
Yeah.
3 people basically arguing over what happened? And I said, "Are you guys going to be able to figure it out, or do you all need to be dead?" And they figured it out
They
pretty
figured it
quickly.
out. They did some rock, paper, scissors and figured it out quick. They were like, no, hold on.
Yeah.
We got this. Let us do it. And that's what I like is whenever, we say, do you have it figured out? And then they're like, we need to get this figured out now or else
Yep.
consequences.
And
so
there
I
were
like
also, I noticed today, I will say this, I'm not going to call anyone out or anything like that, but today I did notice a lot of people telling other people that they were hit. We're done with that. We're over it. We're
that. Yeah.
done.
No.
And so
it's-
if you're listening to this podcast and you did that today, knock it off, because I'm going to start telling people that are telling other people that they hit them that they're dead.
And what you can do instead of saying that, it's very, very simple to just change what you're saying a little bit and say, "Did I get you?" Like if you think you hit somebody, don't say, "I got you, man." Say, "Did I get you?" And they'll say yes or no. And whatever they say, just be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And just keep going.
As a moderator, I did that a couple times today.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey, did that hit your hand?" And then they'd like take a minute to think about it, because sometimes things are moving quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, "Yeah, I did get hit in the
Right,
hand."
yeah. Sometimes you need that
I
prompting,
seen that once
but
today, and they did.
And the difference between telling somebody, "I got your hand," or "Did I get your hand?" It makes it easier for the person to even consider the possibility that their hand did get taken. Like, I'm not trying to say people are being blatantly like lying or whatever, but it's harder to accept that maybe you did get me if you just come up to me with all that like, "I got you, man, you dead,"
That's more of an aggressive tactic compared to more of like a kind of like a passive, just, "Hey, did I get you?"
Yeah.
Then it doesn't seem like you're trying to attack the actual character or
No, for
the
sure,
actual
I agree.
person.
Some
It's-
people
it's
are
more-
prideful, and like if you're like, "Hey, I got you," they're like,
Yeah.
"No, you didn't."
Yeah,
You know
it
what
makes
I mean?
them automatically want to kind of
Yeah, but if I'm like, "Hey,
oppose.
man, I thought maybe I got your arm. Do you feel like I got your arm?" Like I feel like that's a lot, like you said, a lot less aggressive. And as a player, even because obviously I've played, and we've all
Yeah.
played. If somebody goes, "Hey, did I get your arm?" I'm a lot more likely to go, "Yeah, you know what, you did get my arm."
Yeah, you might have got
Then-
it in there, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then just blatantly, "Hey, I got your arm," and now I'm like kind of defensive about it, and like,
I've even said that to people and then go, "Actually, I think you got my arm too." They'd be like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, you did get my arm," they'd be like, "Actually, you might have got my arm too."
Yeah.
And then they'll just drop
Seen
their
that
weapon
too.
too. And,
And
you're like, "Well,
and
cool."
that's like, believe it or not, that's to me, that's what makes better fighters,
Sportsmanship, like.
because a better fighter is going to be like, "Hey, you know what, you got me, I got you, but you got me back, so we'll just call it square."
yeah.
And then it's more peaceful, it's a better game, and we don't have so much aggression out there.
I honestly will say, outside of like one moment today, I feel like today actually went really well as far as people taking their hits.
Yes.
I really didn't have too many problems today. I don't. Maybe I could think of one moment all day, all 5 hours today, where one person maybe I thought didn't take a hit that they should have, but there was no argument between the players, so I just
Right.
let it be. Maybe I missaw something.
Yeah, I think it's really good that our players now are stepping up and saying, "Hey, we got this." That way it's like we can just, as moderators, we can just be out there and be like, okay, we're looking out for safety.
Right.
Like I tried to, before the first game, it was after the first game.
With the rocks.
The rocks. We did have a player get hit in his eye today.
Mm-hmm.
And
I watched the hit. It was not malicious or anything.
it was not malicious.
Just accidental, but still.
Mhm.
And he went down, and the other player stopped instantly.
Yeah.
But
I did get him going again. I came over, made sure he was okay. Didn't want to step out of the game or anything like that. So
like we kind of provided a little bit of cover in case something were to happen. We were both there to kind of provide a little bit of cover, like a protection boundary. We casted a spell.
sure.
But I mean, it's been going really well, and for that, I want to say thank you to the players.
Yeah, I do think there has been a difference in the, because we were talking about, I think we talked on the podcast about this, about having more severe disciplinary action for people having emotional outbursts. I feel like that has waned quite a bit. Like people are being a lot cooler about that. So
yeah, they have,
and that has to do kind of stems from taking hits and all that.
And
so.
if they I seen today one person was not pleased with one of the games or one of the battles.
Yep.
And he just removed himself from it.
Mm-hmm.
Without causing a scene.
Yeah,
he
or
did.
throwing
He did
weapons
a
or
really
anything
good
like that.
There was nothing. It was just,
That's okay.
this isn't for me right now. And you know what? I give props to a person who says, you know what? I'm just going to step out of this because it's not something that I want to be in.
If that's what he has to do in order to not have that emotional outburst, I'm totally down with it.
And I
So,
could be wrong, but I felt like he even was able to return to
Yeah.
fighting and stuff.
He was.
He
A lot
didn't
quicker.
return to that particular game, but
Yeah.
he came over, talked to me
Still
about it. I will say
talked.
this is something I do think needs brought up. I will say that particular player had a valid complaint that I feel like we should talk about.
Okay.
He was told, apparently, at some point that, like, when it comes to, like, weapon combinations or whatever, if he wanted to throw his mug, even as a whatever, that he had to basically play within the confines of the rogue class, even as a whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And today, there was a player that was given permission to use throwies that was using a shield and a sword. And that's the player that killed him in that game with a throwy, and that's why he was as aggravated as he was.
How was that person given permission?
I watched you give them permission.
Me given permission?
Yeah, when we were checking weapons and you showed him the throwies and you were like, oh, did you weigh these? Blah, 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 blah.
I didn't think about the combination at all, though.
I guess that,
I was strictly thinking about the safety.
well,
or-
that's what happened in that situation.
that was
and
not an.
that's-
Is that okay to use?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to address that next week then.
I thought he meant, is it okay to use, as in, is this regulation?
Yeah,
like-
no, he was wanting
not
to
even
use
know
it. So that's how he got killed in that
So that was
game,
my
which is why
fault.
he was so aggravated.
Mhm.
So then, if you're listening to this podcast, either of those people that were involved in that situation,
Biden.
yeah,
I'll
it'll
take
be
that.
addressed this upcoming week, and we're
guys,
sorry
don't
that
start
happened.
fighting,
Yeah.
or I'll make
So
it worse
I
for
will
you.
say, and he asked me about it, and I was like, oh, dude, he was given permission.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
he
even
was
think
like,
of-
what do you mean he was given permission? Because when I asked, like,
I heard him say that.
Yeah.
About the. He
But
said
he
that's
is
the reason
right,
why I
basically,
was a
that we're
rogue.
supposed
Is so
to-
I could throw my mug and
so
I didn't even realize that.
we're sorry to that person. You know who you are. I don't even need to bring up the name, but sorry that happened. And
Yeah.
next time it won't be like that. I'm sorry. So that's all I can say. As a moderator, we mess up too.
Yes.
And clearly there was some miscommunication between us and that other player. So
We
So-
are not perfect at all by
Nope.
any means.
Yeah, so then I guess he did even better by not getting too upset about that, considering he was right. Basically.
yeah, oh, he was
Yes.
definitely
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I just didn't know how to deal with it. I literally was like, buddy, I don't know why he was given permission to use it. I just all I can tell you is that he was given
That
permission
you saw
to use
me
it.
literally sitting there going, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah, yeah.
Because
So we're sorry.
I'm an idiot.
It is what it is.
I mean, I will agree. I'm not going to deny.
Oh
You're gonna
wow.
argue with me on that one, huh?
No,
That's I've learned not to argue.
Well,
that's fair.
Thanks.
So where did we start with this recap?
Yes,
so-
but,
so
but
we have
originally we started with saying, "What are we thankful for?"
Oh,
I know I said Phlarp, but I'd more like to specifically say that this is just the end of that, and then we can go back to the recap, because I thought of this earlier, is that I want to thank the people who are supporting us even by coming out, whether it be money or no. You know, I do appreciate all the support, because none of this is possible without the players. Like,
True.
No matter what I do, I can't sit and play at the park by myself. So
I mean, you could.
I mean, you
but
could.
You'd probably be
Yeah.
arrested.
Yes. We're all that same. Both of us were like, you know.
I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but there's consequences. Yeah. I mean, as far as like the recap goes, I mean, just to get it out quick, because we'll spend forever on it.
yeah, and we're 34 in, so
Yeah.
it's
So
fine.
I mean, like, realistically, we did a costume contest. We did Last Man Standing.
and then
We
Chain of
did
Fools.
Chain of Fools. We did
King of the Ring.
was
King of the
rolled,
Ring.
too.
Yeah, and then a minion and some
Brains.
yeah. I mean, what are we calling it now? Pandemic.
Pandemic.
or something.
Panic.
Yeah. So that's what we did today, as far as events go.
we also did something really, really. We had a guest on the last episode that laid down the gauntlet. That
Oh yeah.
said, "Hey, I've taken my oath.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come
That's
and
true.
get some."
Yeah. And to be fair, somebody stepped up today. And that was pretty cool.
Somebody
Yeah.
stepped up, and it was a female that stepped up and said, "Hey,
I think
I'll take it."
And actually, she's our editor. I don't think she would be opposed to us just go ahead and shouting her out.
Yeah,
It's-
Lady Vix.
Lady
Yeah.
Vix."
And hold on, what was the name of the clan again? Chaos something or another.
Company.
Chaos
Chaos
Company.
Company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and she has what, 4 members already? So
A fifth. She took
she
a fifth.
took a
one
fifth.
on.
Oh,
took a fifth.
Terax joined
Yeah,
her today.
So
Yeah, I mean, she has Lucian, she has Squishy, she has Terax, and there's at least
John.
one more. Oh, Jonathan
John
Trapp.
Trapp.
Yep. So watch out, people. There's another clan in the fold.
Oh.
and Jonathan Trapp was also talking to me about how he kind of went from being on the other side now to being the opposition of the side that he used to work for too. So
Yes.
I told him, I said, the plot thickens.
Yeah, and there was some good role play
Yes.
between those two clans today too. I don't
There
know
was.
if you noticed that.
No,
but
I didn't see
There
it.
was a fight.
Oh,
right
I did
outside-
see them
Yes.
have
so
that
they
fight out
they
in campaign.
basically were having an argument in the tavern, and I will tell you this because I think it's kind of cool. Last week, Vix told me that this was coming. She
Oh, okay.
warned me. She's like, when this happens, I need you to like kick us out of the tavern. And
Oh,
so like
okay.
they started
Okay.
arguing, and I like almost didn't catch it because I was like working on the computer and stuff, you know. And then I look over and I see them arguing. I'm like, oh, I almost missed it, you know. So I had to like go over there. And I was like, hey, everybody out of the tavern that's fighting, you know.
Yep.
Nice.
And then they straight started brawling outside of the little pavilion
yes.
there, which was pretty cool.
Like I was up on a table. I was like, "Ooh."
And it was like
Let
a
me bird
standoff
dog.
for a minute. They were just kind
Yeah.
of talking for a minute, and then somebody made a swing. And then,
Apparently, see, I didn't actually see it, but somebody told me that they were sitting there kind of standoffish, like arguing or whatever. And one of the clans, I'm not going to say which one, but one of the clans started the aggression by just stabbing someone else in the neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, just like, boom, you're out. Like, and then they just
Dang.
like slaughtered that
like
clan.
brutal.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but you know what?
healthy
I
competition's a
am
good thing.
down with some clan conflict.
You called it last week. You said
Yeah.
I want more clan conflict, and
Boom, there it is.
this week has been just on it.
And to be fair, it's not the clans that I expected, which is to me even better.
Yes.
So hopefully it keeps that way. We had some lords missing today. That was sad. Hopefully they're back next week.
I agree.
Somebody's not going to keep this top spot if they don't show up every week. You know what I mean?
whoever that is.
Whoever that is, Argus Greenwood. Anyway,
I was going to say something else too.
It's
And
a
then that
lie.
last statement threw me off.
It's a lie.
that's what my great grandma used to say.
It's a lie.
It was probably a lie.
You guys are not helping. Oh, I was going to say in that same vein, which he was a co-host on here a couple times, Ivern, what's his name?
Heston
Heston.
Iverson, I believe. it
Yeah,
was.
done some great role play today. It was
Dude, heck
minor,
yeah.
but I mean,
No,
just
like
saying,
that one where he knew it was over.
Yeah.
Like, it was
and he
over.
ran in. Yeah,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ran in with his. I
He's
mean,
like,
he's a
"Ah!"
wizard. He ran in with an axe against like 15 people, knowing he was going to die. It was still cool though. And to be fair, what you missed before that, which was like equally as cool, is him and Gregor were sitting there having a conversation. It was the two of them against all of those people, and
okay.
they like basically was like, "All right, well, we'll catch a drink in Valhalla." Let's- you know, so and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool role play. I enjoyed it. And then they
Yeah.
just like went balls to the wall trying to kill, and they knew they weren't going to, but it was pretty cool.
I mean, like we were talking last week about how, if you know that it's over, it's hard to, keep a smile on your face.
Yeah.
They were just
that's a
like,
way
you
to
know
give it
what?
to 'em.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
you
it
know
was
what
cool.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think I would have thought to do that in that last moment. I probably would actually try to fight it out and just lost in an unmemorable way,
I'm going down swinging,
Yeah,
son.
Yeah.
And even minor stuff too. Like I saw him at one point saying, just trying to interact with people in character.
Yeah.
While you're actually fighting it adds a huge element. Like if everybody would do that, it'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I mean, just shout out to Heston for the role play today. I really enjoyed it. Even there was like one part, remember, where he like kneeled down and like drew a line in the ground, in
Yeah.
the leaves.
Yep.
That basically was like you're not getting through this line or whatever it was.
And then somebody shot him.
yeah, so he just shot him with an arrow.
Trap shot him.
He had some good shots today too.
He did. He got pious today.
That was a sick shot.
Oh,
that's
my-
the one
I
that
missed
I
that
said
one.
that
You
one is
missed.
standing out. It was from probably like realistically like 30 yards
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And like he had his shield up and he was kind of to the side. And this arrow just like barely missed his shield and hit him right in the chest. I mean, it was a perfect
Like
shot.
it was dead
Perfect.
center, and like I seen it coming out of the corner of my eye, and I was looking that way, and all of a sudden I look over for some reason. I look at Pius, and I just seen it just right past the shield,
Yeah.
hit him dead center, and he just looks up. He's like,
He didn't even know what to do.
"How
I wouldn't
the
have either.
fuck did that happen?"
Yeah, it was a great shot. It reminded me of like back in the day, like when, I mean, even you remember Sursix, he was pretty good with the bow, and like Diami, they were like, back then, I feel like people were lights out with those bows. Like, I mean, they were super accurate.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, was that. And it was a good shot. So shout out to Jonathan Trapp for his shooting day. Hopefully we see him back. He hasn't been regular for a while, but I hope he comes back.
I think it's just
I do too.
personal.
Yeah,
job
there was some
stuff.
personal stuff going on or whatever, but we'd love to have him out there. So hopefully, now that he's in a clan, maybe he'll show up a little bit more.
I think it will. I think it will.
I hope so. I enjoy having him out there. I enjoy everybody being out there.
Something I'm thinking about doing too, and is making a clan discount on memberships, so that if you and whatever clan members, make a certain number, but if you hit that number, then you get a discount as long as you continuously.
Oh, you mean like for a clan? Like you just tell like the Lord, like if you have like 4 of your members that are on, you could do something like that.
if you have at least
whatever
4
it
members
is.
on gold or whatever,
Whatever
yeah.
your number is.
Yeah, whatever it ends up being, then you'll get
Some discount or half
Yeah.
to yourself or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
something to
That would
awesome.
motivate lords to get their members to be on gold.
Right.
Which is something that if I was a lord, I'd be all over that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I
no,
was-
you need to find out a way to come up with $15 a month. That's less than $5 a week. That's like nothing. That's $4 a week, dude. Like, just do it.
You could save a puppy
Yeah, yeah,
for less than 49 cents a day.
yeah. It's ridiculously cheap to not do it. Everyone should be on gold because the difference is, and this is something I was thinking of, as a player, if I play an event and I don't have any gold, I get 10 XP, right? That's how that works?
yes.
Or, okay,
no,
no.
copper's 5.
Okay. So, but if I play,
Or
if I'm a
bronze
gold,
or-
I am a gold member. So I'm a gold member. I play an event.
You
I get how much?
20.
I get 20. So you literally get 4 times the
Yes.
amount. So if I win an event,
It's like 400% more.
so if I win an event and on copper, I get 15 XP. Right? You get 10 for the win, 5 for playing, right?
oh yes, yeah, right.
Okay.
So 15 total.
So,
correct.
but if I'm on gold and I win an event, I get
25.
40 for playing.
It's well.
Like, just help me with the math here. I want to know what the difference is. So, 15 for
Normally
win
it'd be
versus,
5 for playing. So instead you would get 20 for playing.
Okay.
That's the
So 20, and then
for winning, you get 25. It's actually not.
so it'd be 45 to 15. So it's literally 3 times the amount, right? I mean, that's huge.
yeah, 15 to.
If I'm a player,
20.
why on earth would I not want that
45.
45 as opposed
Yeah.
to 15? It's
Right?
$4 a week, not even.
Your work is way more worth it
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you've put into LARP if you pay for gold, because then you're gonna reap the benefits of that way faster.
And to be fair, again, I'm not talking to those players that literally don't have the money. You don't have a job, you don't have any money, you just like walk there, whatever it is. Like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the players who act like they don't have the money, but they spend $200 at the gas station every month on stuff that's not gas. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm guilty about that myself. But
or a bunch of money on their costume.
Yeah.
And then not get.
yeah, why would you go out there and look the part and not want the XP? It doesn't make any sense to
Right?
me.
I mean, just buy something cheap
Yeah.
as far as costume.
Yeah, I mean, so
And then
to be clear,
Go out there and freaking
yeah.
just be like berserk and win.
I showed up in a costume today. It's not great, but it's a costume.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it cost me like $27 on Amazon. I mean, that's nothing. Not really. Not for costume stuff.
And it's
And you can wear
appreciated.
that. You don't really even got to. You're wearing it so little that you don't even really got to wash it unless you're getting like,
No,
gross
I'm
with
not,
it or
going to.
something.
I mean, I definitely don't have to wear it or wash it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even other people, like, as long as if you're not rolling around in the mud, it's fine.
Yep.
And
It's
if
not
you
really
are
much of a
rolling around in the
long-term-
mud, then just, you got to wash it once a week. That's not
Leave
too
the mud on there because it's cool looking.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair, too. I did see some
That-
mud on some costumes.
That
this week,
shows,
actually.
you know, that you're out there battling, man. That's
that's
your
fair.
mark, bro.
That's fair.
I used to joke, kind of not joking, that the only time my tabard got washed is when it rained because I did not wash it.
I do vaguely remember it just like being covered in paints and stuff from your face. Because like
Mhm.
sometimes you would like sweat and that paint would just go all over your costume.
And we got all sweaty and
It
gross.
would gross. Yeah.
Blah.
By the way, I'm sorry I didn't put on my elf ears today. I thought about it, but it was really cold and I didn't really want to put the spirit gum on my ears. No one
Yeah.
else is wearing elf
Yeah,
ears.
nah,
Yeah.
I mean,
But maybe they're not wearing them because
I mean that's
for the
fair.
same reason.
That's
you know,
fair.
I think that-
like they all have a bunch of elf
I
ears
think
that they might
they
wear.
didn't wear it because you didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
your
what
fault.
he's saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it again for all of the 175 people that listen to this to hear.
I mean, some people, you know, they just need a reminder that, you know, Davine is there for them.
And I want to clarify this a little bit more just for the people that don't know. There's this thing called spirit gum, and it's like a liquid, and you
Yeah.
put it on I think you put it on your ear, right?
Put
And then
it-
you
yeah.
put you
or
hold
on
that
the
against
thing.
it,
Either way.
and you just hold them together for a minute. You know, hold whatever prop or whatever costume piece,
It's like glue. It's like safe glue.
and then once it dries, it like sticks on there pretty damn good. Like if
You-
you went to rip it off, it would hurt.
So the Spirit Gum brand has like a remover that you
But,
have to
yeah,
buy in
that's where I was
addition to
going.
this stuff. But it's still like a lot to put it on and off, I think. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll get to it eventually. It's just I didn't want to do it
But
this week.
but if you have elf ears and you're wondering how the hell do you fix them, there is a thing for it.
And to be fair, if you buy elf ears and you go to our LARP or whatever, you can stop at me and I will help you put on these elf ears if you want via Spirit Gum.
And then you will encourage him to.
yes.
Help
his
him get
ears
it off.
on.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, that would be good encouragement for, you know, our other players if our magistrate had it on. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying I showed up in costume
We're
this week. You should
One
be happy
step at a
with that.
time, huh?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I'm going to do the bare minimum. We're talking about people, hey, let's get gold. He's over there like,
He throws his shirt on. He's like, I got costume
I'm going
on,
to do
bro.
the bare minimum, okay? Like, I'm already a gold member. What do you want?
I mean, I'm just saying I'm in more costume today than most people out there. I'm just saying, like, come on. I feel like you're being a little judgy. A little judgy. I'll put my
Oh, your
ears on
top half,
eventually. Yeah,
Maybe.
well,
Not including your
I
head,
got
apparently.
sweatpants and boots. I mean, those are not things I normally wear.
I
you
know normally he's in shorts.
True. That's actually facts. I definitely wasn't wearing shorts out there, though.
Oh,
way.
no.
Too cold.
Nope. Not happening. I also want to say we have RP now on our Facebook.
Oh, yeah. That's
have a
actually
chat
going
group.
quite well. Have you seen that, North?
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new person for the
Just for the roleplay chat?
Discord because they make Discord bots. Okay, so they make me and Isaac were talking about it, and like he basically just, he's like a teenager. So if you're like, it'd be cool if you would like, take a bath. He's like, you know what? I'm not taking a bath ever again. Like that's how like I don't know, that's how teenagers work. So when I was trying to
Okay.
pressure him about the Discord thing, it seems like it makes it where he doesn't want to do it as much. But anyway, my son Isaac is the Discord mod. Our Discord, there is ways you can get bots, and I did a little bit of research into it where it actually sets the rules up for you where you like can put different prompts in and stuff. that would be like you attempting to do things kind of like D&D or something, and it would have a bot that would automatically
like somebody running the blacksmith and like stuff like
sort
that.
of
Like,
yeah, sort of like if you put a certain prompt in there, like it might, I don't know exactly how it worked because I didn't research into it real far, but it might be like if I put the word attack in my sentence, then it's going to do something with that. You know, like
Interesting.
if you have a prompt, it has certain commands, I think, that when you make your statement about whatever role play thing you're doing, if it's an action, it may actually do like a roll or whatever for you, so we don't have to have somebody in there constantly rolling or doing something
That's
to
fair.
dictate whether somebody was able to pull something off or not. And also, I had rules before, and I talked
I
to him
mean,
a little bit
don't we
about
have
this.
rules against that though for these chats? Like,
Sort of. We had a whole rule system before where you could interact with NPCs, but if it was going to be, and you could do whatever you wanted to them, if you want to go in there and
Yeah, but
start murdering people.
player versus player was a different story.
But if it was a different person, then you couldn't, any attempt to like interact with somebody in a way that it was like you couldn't respond for them.
right.
And then there was something about determining whether it was a success, your attempt. Like if I wanted to punch you in the face, I don't remember if there was like a that we rolled or how we did that. Did you do
I don't
it?
even remember doing that at all. I think we kept like player conflict like completely out
never
of
went
the
there.
chats
Yeah.
specifically, just because like, let's say you and I are in the chat and we're like in a fight. And I'm like, I punch you in the face. Like and then like what's to stop you from going? Oh, I cut your head off. Like, oh, like, what am I supposed to do to that? You know what I mean?
Go res at the
It
portal
just
up
sounds.
Pandu.
I don't know. Like, I
But
just
yeah,
think we should keep that out of it, unless there is some kind of feature on
that allows you to have combat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be really difficult. I'm not sure I love it.
And,
I would
well, and
almost
there's more
rather
to it than that.
I'd almost rather there be like
There's more to it than
verbal
that too.
conflicts and like setup for whatever's going to happen that Sunday.
It's a
Like,
dialogue only.
Yeah, like I come up
Right.
to you and I'm like, North, I've had a problem with you for 2 months, and come this Sunday, you're going to regret everything you've ever done to me. Like that's different than, in
I'm
chat
gonna
of
punch
like,
you in the face.
I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like it's just
get
stupid.
crazy,
There's like
yeah.
no way to really do
Well,
that
I'm just
fairly.
picking a random thing, but
Yeah.
I'm saying it has already built-in ways to interact with each other, and it like takes care of it for you. And then there's other stuff we could do with that too. When you have a Discord like that, you could put a main tavern, and then if somebody leaves the tavern in game, like in the role play, you could have another place called the Wilderness, where now they're separate from the tavern. And then you could have even a booth, like say you and I are sitting in the tavern and we want to have a private conversation. You can make it to where we can get pulled down into an actual voice chat and talk
that
to
would
each
be
other
cool.
in voice,
Yeah.
just because we're sharing a private booth together. And really, it's just it's just like kind of a call, but we could do that in character, the whole time. To be like, all right, well, that sounds good to me, and then you just leave the private
Right.
booth, Stuff like that. I was telling Isaac, man, it'd be really cool if we could do that. And I know
Yeah.
not everybody's necessarily familiar with Discord. I'm not either.
I'm not either. I've never
No.
used it before.
So-
with that being said, I was about one of 2 people that was trying to use the roleplay Discord. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah, I did see
but
that.
I did try.
Uh-huh.
I
told
it
Isaac
just
that.
like it died very quickly, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we just rather use Facebook."
Right.
So we went to the Facebook Messenger thing. But I mean, if that were able to be set up correctly, I think people would appreciate the Discord thing a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I did
'cause it could be
download
more-
it simply because there was something Phlarp that I wanted to be a part of. So I went and downloaded Discord just so
Yeah.
I could be a part of it. And then, I'm so old. I'm like, man, how do you use this
Yeah,
stuff?
it's, like,
I
crazy.
just spent 20 minutes clicking in there to find out how to get to other chats and stuff. It was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But cool. And I think that is something that we could use going
It has
forward.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
said,
don't
just-
want,
if Isaac
if you're
isn't gonna get
listening
on
to
it-
this, Isaac,
No.
we don't want you to give up on it. Like
Correct.
just keep going with it. Like figure it out, even if it's slow, whatever. I'm with you on it. As long as I'm here, I'll help you as much as I can. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd rather him stay in that position than try to get somebody else in that position,
Agreed.
or him feel like he wasn't able to do it or something.
yeah, no, he's capable of doing it. It's just a matter of like, sometimes you just got to grind some stuff out. Like you may not know how to do something, but look it up.
And
I'm sure
research
there's a video on it. I am almost 100% sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. We might possibly have a new position in the tavern.
Oh, is that something we want to actually talk about?
Is that something we want to talk about right now, or do you want to wait till later?
I'm fine with talking about it as potential, but I don't know how
Right.
committed
Right.
that person is to that. But
Yeah.
Oh, is
you
like-
would know more than I would because you talked to her about that
right.
specific thing.
So we may
But
potentially have a
fine with mentioning it.
town merchant.
Let's just gonna move that back just a little bit.
I just
So,
was trying to keep
I
it
probably
off me.
Didn't move it that far, but I'm stupid.
Town merchant.
Yeah, so we
Explain
might
this.
possibly have a town merchant.
Do tell.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
I
by the
talked
way.
to this person. I don't know their character name, but it is Jessica.
She don't even have a character no more.
No.
Oh,
North
well then-
deleted it.
She has
Oh.
a character.
She's
She's gonna be mad that I didn't say what it is.
oh man.
Do you remember what
It's
it
some
was?
kind of clever. It's like foot stomper or something. I can't remember.
Oh, she said it today, and I don't remember what it was either.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's gonna be mad at me.
She,
but
I
anyway,
mean, she was mad at you earlier too. But I talked to
disappointed
her
that I don't remember.
about possibly
Toe stomper.
coming out to have like food during game day.
Yeah,
And
as long as it's not North Jambalaya.
it's
Dude,
not
what you getting
no.
on to me about my jambalaya for?
Dude, I don't
You
know,
use
dude.
every
It's just not
opportunity.
it,
you can.
dude.
So the person I
It's
talked to,
pretty
no,
good. It's not
no.
that bad.
We kind of had like a winter menu.
Oh, so it's like chili.
Yeah. So during the
Maybe some
winter, it's going to be
jambalaya.
chili. Not no.
Come on.
Look, bro, that veto. All right.
All right.
All right. 100% veto.
I'll bring my own jambalaya.
If
I'll
Just
eat
for
it.
you.
If you
front of
want
you.
it, then that's you.
All right.
But I don't think the town is prepared for that.
I will say this: North used to make some bomb egg sandwiches. He did do that. I'm not going to
Okay.
lie to you. They were
I mean,
they were good.
If he can do that,
Are you
more power
inferring
to
you're
him.
lying about the other thing?
I'm not lying about any. The jambalaya was terrible.
Okay.
I'm telling you, friend to friend, stop making the jambalaya.
All
You
right.
just made boxes of Zatarans and threw
Dude,
some sausage in it.
Yeah, that's not, no, that is not jambalaya. All right.
Yes, it is.
My family, I have family from Louisiana, and they will straight up tell you that Zatarans.
Zatarans is the
No,
taste
dude.
of New Orleans or
No.
whatever.
No.
That-
I don't even think he put Creole in it or anything. Nothing. It was just like, here's some boxed rice, and I threw some andouille sausage in it.
No,
Eat up.
that's not. No, no,
Okay.
that 100% veto.
All right. All
The
right.
egg sandwich is good though,
All right. Egg sandwiches.
Okay.
and I don't remember
See,
your
I
chili
mean-
being bad.
All right.
So
Cool.
I'm sure you've made chili.
Yeah. So, quite
I
possibly
think
next
she
week
made it, but
we
either
may
way.
have some chili and hot dogs or chili dogs if it pleases everybody. But it's one of those that I talked to her and this person's going to get back with me. But they did say it's a good possibility. So if anybody does want, like a meal of some sort,
Yeah.
Really,
then
that's the only thing we're not missing, but that we
Lacking.
could
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
yeah,
is food.
And to be
is-
fair, even if this person doesn't decide to do this, you know how like today we were selling, and again, thank you, Eric the Red for purchasing everybody hot chocolate. We had hot chocolate today for sale, 50 cents a cup.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty reasonable. But we could also probably get like one of those big boxes of like assorted chips and sell them for however much would make our money back. Like, you know what I mean?
like chips and also like
we used to
snack
do,
cakes.
we used to
and-
do that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I think it just
Yeah.
got it gets a lot to probably transport back and forth. I know you had like a tub
And-
before.
I would eat it sometimes.
Well, I mean, you're out there in the
And
woods,
then I
you
would
get hungry.
confused about like what money people would give me to replenish the food.
That's fair.
It wouldn't always make it back to replenish the food. Then I would just. use
You also
my own
had like,
money.
and I don't
But
really want to
anyway,
get into it, but
this
you had
time
like
we'll
a,
be more consistent.
you had a pretty good situation with that before that I don't know if you still have or whatever, but that was helpful. The situation you had before, you could like get the stuff pretty cheap or whatever, and then make a profit with it through Phlarp or
Right.
whatever. Like that would be great if we could do something like that again. I'm not sure if that's an option, but
Yeah, and see, that's why I think having like a designated town merchant
that'd be great.
would be really good because then it's like they can have their own books, so
Sure,
to speak,
sure.
and be like, okay, this is what we have, and they can be in charge of like the ordering and just message us or whatever and be like, hey, this is what we need, this is what we need to replenish, this is what we're gonna bring out. I think that would be great, and having a designated town merchant for that.
Sure.
So I think that would be really good. And donating.
And to be and to also add to this person we're talking about also is, I mean, more or less our tailor as
Yeah,
well.
that's where I was going to say.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I mean, so if you have like costumes and stuff that need made, I haven't seen any of what I don't know her character name, but Jessica's work that's bad. Like all of it's really good. I had her take some measurements for me today for a possible costume that I need to just get with. So
And I actually asked her if she wanted to be on the podcast tonight, but she said that she wants to make sure that she gets her website up and going real well and stuff because she's going to be selling stuff through there, not only to us but to whoever,
yeah, she makes some cool stuff. What is this? I mean, what would you call this thing that you're wearing right now? I think it's awesome. It's like a fleece hood thing.
Yeah, like you see in
Almost looks kind of like Robin Hood-esque to me or something.
Yeah.
how when they look like they'll have a hood on with sort of a skirt on it, sort of, and it goes over their shoulders.
Yeah,
And
this
then
one
it's a
comes down to
separate
a
piece.
V.
It's a separate piece from the actual shirt.
Yeah, it looks
But
good
yeah,
though.
it's like a hood thing.
I could totally
Oh.
wear that like under my costume even if I
Yeah.
wanted to.
That's what I was
Yeah.
talking about doing, is putting it underneath my
And
Your tabard.
And it has a hand warmer in
That's
it.
what I was about to say, man. He's got spots
and
for
it's
hand
fleece.
warmers. Yes. You cannot go wrong with that. I totally want one.
Yeah, I'll
I-
probably have her make me one too.
I got cold a couple times and then raised the hood up and it helped a lot.
Oh, I
I
bet.
think
my
I'm
neck
gonna.
was freezing. So
I think Jeff's gonna have a
lot
lot
of
to
work.
do.
Yeah. Hopefully she just doesn't run it. Hopefully by the time she's done with all her stuff, we have new players that also need new stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
and that's not like all she ever needs made by us. And then we're just like, okay, bring the chili or whatever.
Make sure the chili's made. But and then when she gets her website up and running, we can plug that in also. So hey, podcast can kind of outsource. If she decides to join us, I think it would be great.
We are literally at 1 hour, so we might wrap this one up and then we're gonna do.
Well, perhaps we should do the suggestion box and then you want to do the suggestion box
Yeah.
on this one?
Yep. We'll get the suggestion box out and then we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. We're gonna probably record another one, but that one won't be released until, I guess.
The following Wednesday.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't do another one this upcoming week. I don't care either way. So.
Okay.
Or it may be just put on the back burner to be able to use whenever we need
That's fair.
backup show
I
because it
agree.
won't be necessarily specific to like anything that has happened this week.
While he is getting the suggestion box going, I am going to take the liberty this week of giving the code word for next week.
Okay, what do you got?
Cornucopia.
Okay, makes sense. It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
That'll be the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So
Cornucopia. Cornucopia?
cornucopia.
Copia.
Yeah, that thing. Isn't that the thing they use in the Hunger Games?
Yeah, they call it that.
It,
And it looks like a big metal one, but yeah.
do you know, like, on all of the Thanksgiving-ish kind of things where it's like,
No, I know what it
Yeah.
is.
so yeah, that's what I'm going for.
I have some
This is-
song suggestions here. Okay. Any songs by Peyton Parrish, Lone Digger by Caravan Palace, and Seven Nation Army by The Scald. So we'll put that.
Seven
with,
Nation Army by a different person than.
Yeah. And then we'll
White-
put that with our one from last week with Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah.
Which we have not got to. Doesn't mean we won't. Just means we haven't got to it.
I got two, so I'll go ahead and read one of them. This one might take longer. So this one says, Chain of Fools is great. Need only level field to better spread zone areas and lines better to see. So they're basically saying if they had to produce some sort of criticism, it would be they would prefer us to play on a level field, although, we
didn't
can't
have one
always
today.
do that. Yeah.
Nor could I do anything about the visibility, really, because there was a gazillion leaves
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
on our field today.
The only thing I can do something about that, but it would be a lot more work for me, is I do have a leaf blower. And I thought about bringing it when we were going to be at Pavilion 3, but that's because I have the heater in there, and I didn't want them a bunch of leaves there. But I don't really want to leaf blow the whole field
That's
either.
ridiculous.
No.
Well, I'll try to.
Well, you
make-
know how they were building
I
up in
know.
there?
I
and
will
thought,
try. I will try to be better about making it more visible. I also don't think the leaves are going to be an issue for a lot of weeks. Like I feel like it's going to be dead here in a couple weeks. So
I mean,
Really, we could get
there's
eventually
nothing we
over
can do about
time get them flags. You know the flags that they put like on back of ATVs when they drive in
yeah, I
St.
mean we
Joe?
could
Yeah.
put those in the corners or something.
And just
but
put them on the edges, yeah, just to help a little.
It just seems like a lot of work.
But I think they were just trying, because we do say, hey, let us know if there's anything
that's
we could,
fair. I'm
Yeah.
being a
could
little
fix.
critical of their.
So maybe they're
suggestion.
not.
I'll see what we can do.
Maybe they're not like real serious about it. They're just saying, if we could make it better,
good
the lines a
handwriting.
little bit better and stuff, that would be great.
Whoever
So,
wrote the suggestion, you got great handwriting.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Wasn't me.
Oh, I
Not this
know.
time.
What's yours?
I have tight fit, no giggity. Thanks for the bardic inspiration. Best part of my week.
I mean, I know who wrote that.
I don't know what tight fit, no giggity
Didn't
means.
we not even play music this today?
Yeah, we didn't, but I think
Like
it
I
was...
said, I know who wrote this. I don't entirely know what it means, but I'm glad that we could be the best part of your week.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
I'm
whatever
sorry
it
you
is.
had a bad week.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm here if you want to talk.
is it referring to, me trying to amp us up during...
I don't know.
I mean,
Not sure.
you can't give me that?
Oh, yeah. It might have been you out there.
Yeah, definitely. It was
yeah,
you.
it was probably you.
Yes, it
out
was
there.
me.
It was-
Thanks.
it
When
was
you were
all
amping 'em
you.
up.
Thanks, whoever this person was. I appreciate it.
Yep.
And then this last one just says LARP dodgeball. And the reason that this says this is because there was a guy that me and you, Futon, was talking about it. I may be saying his name wrong, but
Fusion.
Fusion.
I actually think it's Yi
it's-
Futin.
Yes,
my
Yi
God.
Fusion.
It's like 5 different pronunciations.
we're
Yi
off.
Futon.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I think it is. That's what I'm going with.
Yi Futon.
We're
If
gonna
you
go with
listen to
that.
the podcast, let us know if that's right.
Yeah.
You better be listening.
Tell us how to
Truth.
tell us how to sound it out.
Yeah, I actually did that on one of my things when I was trying to get somebody to say Darvishan correctly because I didn't want them also pronouncing it Darvishan. So I put Darvishan, like trying to spell it out like that so they would understand how to
Phonetically.
pronounce it.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes you got to do that. Was that everything?
No, I was just gonna say that no, because I wasn't quite done with it.
Excuse
he was
me.
saying, could we do like a throw?
Like a throwy.
Let me just
dodgeball thing?
hit you with this pitch real
Okay,
quick.
all right. I'm hold on. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, two people on both sides. You can use
Yeah.
whatever melee weapon you want.
Okay.
Within reason.
Sure.
Hopefully people ain't building giant blades to be able to defend with. But the only thing you can actually block with is the one blade you brought.
Okay.
And then everybody starts with a throwy, right?
Okay.
Yes.
They stand on opposite lines, so you don't ever cross a line. It is like dodgeball in that way.
Okay.
And you can throw the thing. If you hit somebody, I would even say it just damages them, but once you hit them lethal, they're dead or whatever. Like, it doesn't kill them instantly by hitting them in the arm. It would just make it now their arm's gone. They're going to have to drop their sword and pick it up with the other one if they want to defend, or drop their sword to throw something.
Right.
Once you start out, you can throw or use anybody else's thrown weapons if they come over on your side. So if all the thrown weapons are on the other side, you just got to wait until they throw them back. How
Okay.
you get everybody back in, so if you get killed, you get set out on the sideline. If you deflect a weapon, a thrown weapon, and then catch it, it has to bounce off your weapon first, because that'll make it hopefully really unpredictable. Then catch it, it brings everybody back in on your side.
Okay.
And then you just go until everybody's eliminated.
I think it sounds really cool. I feel like I would have to take a step back.
That's just my
as
quick,
the
you know.
moderator and think about safety ramifications with it, just because I feel like I don't know that people would be able to control themselves on how hard they were throwing these thrown weapons. Like in that
maybe they'd be
particular
more
situation. Because, I mean,
intense.
you know how dodgeball is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want nobody throwing a LARP throwy 100 miles an hour at someone's head. So
No.
I'd have to think about how that would work. But in theory, it sounds really cool.
Also, you could, if that was an issue, you could space them a little bit more. Like, if you space them enough,
Further away.
Yeah.
That'd just make them throw them harder, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
it would, but it wouldn't make
mean-
them. There'd be an apex where they would only be able to throw so hard, and then it would be less. You know what I mean?
That's fair. It depends on how far you spread them out. I feel like I could throw a weapon pretty hard if I wanted to.
I mean,
But you'd be less likely to be able to hit it with me if I'm far. Okay, so like
I understand.
if we're
What
up
I know.
close,
I
you throw
understand
remote.
what you're
Okay.
saying. I understand what you're saying. I guess I just don't have as much problem with a throwing weapon in a real game, because 9 times out of 10, those people are throwing them at people whose backs are to them. Like they're not trying to throw them super hard at.
To be able to get in on them and hit
Right.
them before they react or something.
Right. I don't know. It might work. I'd be willing to try it.
we'd have to kind of sit down and go over like some thrown weapons come to that
The point.
the point, and we don't really want that. So I think honestly, Hessian's magic stones, if they had maybe a bigger version of that,
Yeah.
that might be.
Well, that's what I think he needs, is bigger versions of those packets.
yeah. So I think that
Like a
might
stress
work.
ball. Or
Yeah.
something.
But I think this is something that we'd have to kind of sit down and go over all of it and kind of
Yeah.
look at
Fine-tune
all
code.
sides
Yeah.
of it.
And
I
you know
agree.
that might be something we could do just real quick and in the moment at LARP, just long enough to get a quick idea of how it's going to go, and then make the changes after that.
Yeah,
Like, okay,
like-
now we'll know what to do with this.
Like a little beta testing on
Yeah, because
site.
I can't think of what would be an issue with that, but I'm sure there are some.
The only
Yes.
thing I could think of is
Right.
people throwing it too hard and hitting people in the eyes.
Because they're worried specifically about being able to try to throw it hard enough that it gets to them and hits
Yeah.
them before they can react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, well, that's an idea. Now it's out there so that we can keep trying to develop that.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Now if only we can get our higher director magistrate to facilitate getting some of this music taken care of.
You don't like Legend of Zelda on repeat?
I'm just saying we have quite a few suggestions over here that you need to take care of.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's
100%.
I mean, I feel like you need to listen to them and make sure that they're going to work. But but the ones that will work, yeah, I think you should add them to the jump drive.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Not a
do
lot of
that.
Zelda.
I don't have anything else for this one.
Yeah.
I do not either.
I don't either.
So,
All right, guys. Well, we hope you keep listening.
and we hope you keep fighting in the name of our capital, Darvishan.
And we hope to see you all soon.
Bye.